Well, hello there. Just a quick little tutorial here. Hopefully it'll be quick on how to reset the network stack and also your TCP internet protocols. And the reason for this is I came across a situation where I was working on a PC and I'd left it on overnight, which typically we do, right? But then I came back in the morning and to work on it, and I had no internet connectivity. Right, so, and it showed down here in the taskbar that I had internet access, but yet I would go to the web, do a search or do any type of function, checking emails, and nothing would work. So I thought that odd. So I was checking the wiring and whatnot, and anyway, I restarted the computer, and everything was fine. So didn't think much of it, and then it happened again when I left it. Always when I would leave the computer on, and it would seem always to be more after like 24 hours, like somewhere between 24 and 36 hours, that I would have this connectivity problem. So looking into it, it comes to be that I found that resetting the Windsock and the TCP/IP protocols took care of the issue. So I'm just going to go through it here with you on how I did it, to the steps I went through. So first of all, I always open an elevated prompt, right? So the command prompt here, and I always start with the Sfc Scan Now, just to verify file integrity. So we do that, and it can take a little while to get this done. So I will let this run, and I'll come back to you, and we'll go over it again, continue with the process. Now, I should say too that this has, and I'm hardwired, right? This isn't a Wi-Fi access for internet connectivity. I'm hardwired, so this is much different than the Wi-Fi situation that's been out there, that's been a known bug that Microsoft would have. So this is altogether different than the Wi-Fi situation that you might have. So we'll come back to this when this is done. Okay, so we're back, and it finished with no violations in the files. So, and I just want to say that we do this just to make sure that our files are intact. Just kind of a preliminary. This has nothing really to do with resetting the Windsock, but if our files have a integrity violation, then there's going to be you're not going to do well with that. So the second thing I always do, if there's errors in there, and some good command to do, is just to finish it with this with the DISM online cleanup image, and we restore health with this command here. I have it over here in this document here, and I'm just copying and pasting it in. So then I run that, and so this takes a little while as well. So we'll come back to this too. So this is just preliminary stuff to get out of the way. We run this, and we'll get back to you. Okay, so we're back, and that operation completed successfully. So that's out of the way. Now, two other things that I didn't do previously, but I thought I'd add in here to do, is to ping the router. And you find out whatever your router address is. So like for mine, my router address is 192.168.1.254. Yours will probably be different. Just put in whatever your address is in there, and with the ping. So you'll go ping 192.168.1.254. So then it'll ping, just to make sure that the router has connectivity there, that you're able to ping the router. Then the other thing that is always a good idea to do is to ping the, this one I haven't tried myself, to see if the network stack is installed, and that is pinging 127.0.0.1, right? So 127.0.0.1. So then you'll ping this, and looks like we did good there, nothing lost. So those two were okay. So then from here, what we want to do is, and the reason for the error that I've come across, why the Windsock doesn't get reset even when you go through and do run these commands down here. When you run these commands, especially the NTSH, the net share, right, Windsock commands, if it comes back with a fail, it's because there's not, permissions aren't set sufficiently in the registry. So yes, we're going to need to be doing some registry editing. It's actually pretty safe here. It seems almost to be par for the course anymore. I remember back in the day, we would, every time anybody talked about doing some registry work, it would be like, oh no, you don't want to do that. You know, everybody will be all scared of it. It almost seems to be like, oh, it's no big deal anymore. But that still being said, you always want to go through and back up your registry, okay? Do a registry backup just to be sure that everything is okay. So, all right, that being said, we're going to run this, NTSH commands here. And we've already got the elevated prompt running. So what we'll do is we'll start with, I'll just show you the error that we get, right? So let me just go through. These are normally what I did is I ran these commands, right? Starting with these commands, right? So it'll say that was successful and you have to restart the computer to finish the reset. Okay, that's fine. But then when you start doing these ones down here, when you run these, this is where I would get a fail or access denied. So you'll see right here, right? Okay, so we did everything. Everything's okay, 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 okay. And we get down here, failed. Access is denied. So then it says restart the computer to complete this action. I didn't think much of it at the time. I reset my computer and it didn't do anything. And I continued on. So then I came further looking at it, into things more. So even if I run this one, so the same thing failed, right? With the IPv4, you do the IPv6. Right, and it still gets failed, right? So did that get in there right? Let's see, the IPv, yep. Okay, there we go. So see, I get failed there too. So I'm not going to do the flushing and all that right now because I know that's not where the situation lies. So what we'll do now is we're going to open up the registry to fix this issue. So if you don't have a command prompt already open, why we already do here, you just write, since I'm here, elevated command prompt, I'm just going to go regedit. Okay, it opens up the registry, and I've already been to this key in the registry, and so, and what that key is this is where we're going right here. We're going to navigate to that key. So it's a pretty long key, and I'm not going to go and spell it out. I'll put it in the notes, but so you come back to it anyway. You're coming down, and it's this one here is number 26 is where we're going to want to find 26. And what you do is we want to set permissions on number 26, right? So you right click it like I've got it all written out here, and you select the permission options from the context menu, right? So we'll just go ahead and do that. So permissions. So you have an option here to either give permissions to everyone or add in system. I'm just going to go ahead and give permissions, edit the everyone to get permissions here, right? So we can go through and give it full control. Okay, so you allow full control. I gave that full control. And then also, okay, I click apply, edit, and then I want to select principal. So the principal is going to be everyone. Check the name, select OK. All right, so I select principal, allow, full control, apply these permissions and objects and containers within this container. Now I want to do it for everywhere, not just within this container, but give it full control. Oh, excuse me. Give it, when I say full control, it's not disable inheritance, but it's replace all child objects, right? This is one which we want to select. So after we've done that, after we've given it full control, replace that, we click apply, and it says, there we go. All right, it says, usually sometimes we'll get that message that it was denied, but it goes and it did it. So once we did that, now you can see we got full control. And you don't need to worry, because what it's going to end up doing is that command actually ends up deleting this key. So I'll show you, we'll come back in here, and when we start the computer, it recreates that key all over again, okay? So we don't need to worry too much about anything there. So, oh yeah, so one last thing I just wanted to show you in the registry that when we ran those commands, it did actually remove that key. So here I closed the registry and I opened it up again and went back to that key, and you'll see at this key here that those 26 are gone. It removed quite a few different numbers that were there. All we have now is a 4 and a 7. It might be different on your machine, but 26 is definitely gone, and as well as some others I think that were in there. So that just goes to show that it did remove those registry keys, and then if you restart your computer and come back in, it will rebuilds the stack, that Windsock stack. So it gets rebuilt, so it'll add that key back in. All right? Let's see what else we need to go there. I think that should be it. Yep, we replaced the owner and on the objects. Click the add button. We did all that. So make sure you check full control, restart your computer and check if, okay. So what we would do now, I think, let's just give this a shot. If I go ahead and run these commands again, I think, yep, okay, so we get that. And the IP reset. All right, let's see. Okay, so as you see now, me just doing that, without even restarting the computer. Whoops. Scroll down. Okay, see, I got everything. It doesn't say invalid or everything's okay. Remember before we had resetting failed, access is denied. Okay, now we don't have that. Right? Everything's okay. So I can go through and we can even do the rest of these here. Probably really isn't needed, but I'm just going to show you. See, okay. IPv6. Copying that command. Okay. Okay, now I notice this. And it doesn't matter, because all we're concerned with is the IPv4 being reset. The IPv6 doesn't matter in this instance, so I'm not concerned about that. What I can do now before I restart the computer is I can run the ipconfig commands. Probably not altogether necessary, but it's not a bad idea to go through and flush the DNS. Renew your IP. So we release that. First we release it, and then we renew it. And then renew. Okay. There. Now that's been renewed, and that should take care of it. At this point, I will. You just reboot your computer, and all should be well. I hope that helps you guys out. And thanks for watching, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this tech video. I do know a little bit about tech. My main focus, though, on this channel is going to be more with health-related topics. So stay tuned for that. And again, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, and hope to see you guys around again sometime soon. Have a good night.